Hernandez here, MLH Media, and I'm here today with a guest that was a little bit familiar to the channel in terms of the post-fight interviews, but now we got him over here on the Zoom call. My man, Sub-Zero Charles over there. New little nickname as he has garnered a now 2-1 record in the mixed martial arts scene in your professional career. How's it going, my man? Been up to a lot recently, like how we just said.
Man, happy and blessed. How are you, my man?
I'm doing great, man. New hair. Can we discuss that a little bit? New look.
It's actually something I got from when I was in my high school days. I used to color my hair, and I just thought, why not take a dip in the old river? You know what I mean?
I think it definitely suits you. It was definitely a surprise come fight night over there for LFA, and then when I was seeing those weigh-in pictures and just overall the look into things going into into this fight against Ueslei. What were your thoughts going into this fight? And I mean, now with looking back in hindsight, you got that fight of the night performance. Did you kind of picture all of that going into it? Because definitely seemed like you were locked and loaded, ready into this matchup.
Yeah, I was ready for something. I was ready for a good banger of a fight. That's something we always preach at Alpha Male is we stay ready so we don't got to get ready, if you know what I mean.
What was the kind of thing you were, most ready for? I feel like you were, honestly, the biggest thing I was most surprised for is I was bringing out the striking, man. You were bringing out them strikes, man. You were having a fun time on the feet. I know you like to, keep the fans guessing, man, but you were having fun out there, man. Was that something that you and the coaches really wanted to implement in this fight, too? Is just, hey, let Sczar just go out there and just kind of do your thing?
No, we was trying to stick to the game plan. I diverted from a little bit. You see my hair is a little wild, so my hair is like my personality. Sometimes I get a little off track, but my coach just reeled me back in and said, get back on the game plan, Czar. You're not doing what we said. And then you saw in the second round, I looked at my coaches and I said, I got you.
You were able to go ahead and notch that majority win over there at LFA. Is there a chance that we see you back in that LFA cage? I know that that's something a lot of fans were wondering, especially with, you having that connection with Urijah and having the connection with A1. Is there a chance that we get to see you back over there for LFA anytime soon? Or is there a chance that we see you on A1 popping up on one of these cards pretty soon, knowing that it's so close over there to your home base at Team Alpha now?
100%. I'm open to wherever the competition is. And as always, have fun and give the fans something to come out for. You know what I mean?
And with this last fight over there at A1, you had a very, very game opponent in Urijah. Were not able to go ahead and get that win, but I feel like you were able to go ahead and walk away with the fight from a different kind of perspective. Can you kind of talk about the trial from after the fight with Vakhtang to going into this fight with Ueslei, maybe some of the things that you were implementing in this camp, and just overall, it seems like you were kind of a new overall collected fighter. Was there something that you really picked up from this last fight, or just overall training camp that you really went to this Ueslei fight with?
I did. I discovered a lot about myself from that last fight. I was very young as an MMA fighter. I like to relate it to other sports, say like a young LeBron, Kobe Bryant or something, and they learn from their playoff mistakes. You know what I mean? Like they come up short, so they have the next off season to fill the gaps in their games. I see the same way as MMA. It's no different than any other sport. You just fill the holes in your game, and that's what we did. It didn't even take less than a week after that Vakhtang fight to figure out where I needed to, compensate for what I was lacking. And we figured it out in a week. And then we got right back to the drawing board, right back to the grind, punching, kicking, wrestling, just smiling, staying happy. Yeah.
Always do have that great positive and kind of always got the smile on your face whenever I do seem to see you, my man. And originally over there from Virginia Beach, Virginia, is there a possibility? LFA, they kind of go everywhere, man. They've gone over there to the East Coast a couple of times. Any chance that we get you kind of hop back over to the East Bay for some love over there? Because I know you definitely got the people that have your back over there on the East Bay as well.
100%. We just got to talk to my man Pharrell Williams and see what he's up to, you know what I'm saying? Because Pharrell Williams got the keys to the city over there. So if Pharrell can make something happen for me, hey, my phone's available. He's got my number. Let's get it done.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good. Did you catch his most recent? He had a movie come out about him. I don't know if you caught that. The Lego kind of biopic about him. Did you get to catch that in theaters?
Excellent work. Super creative. You don't see stuff like that, but that's just what it's like from where we're from. We're from the same area. That's just the type of style we bring. It's creative, it's love, it's positivity, and that's just how we do over there at the beach. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, when you hear those 3 beats, on a Pharrell track, you know it's gonna go hard. And when you see
Mhm.
Czar Charles on the fight card, you know that it's gonna go even crazier. They're just a little bit, I mean, coming like how you said, coming from that area, there is a lot of talent. I mean, not even speaking about Pharrell Williams, but you got Mike Vick that's also from that like Virginia. There's so many just athletes that like have harbored over there. What is that like to also be from that area and to kind of be one of those guys that's coming up in the MMA scene, but over here on the West Coast? It must be a little bit of a different feeling, especially now that you've gotten some years to acclimate yourself to California and you're kind of becoming a West Coast guy in a way. You got the crazy hair, you've been hanging out with Peyton Talbot, been hanging out with all these guys. You're becoming a West Coast kid in itself, man.
You know, I take pride from where I'm from, but I do have a saying for myself is you can't rule a kingdom if you ain't leave the village. So Sacramento is my second home now, and I love it here. The people treat me good. I see the same. I get the same vibes from Virginia and home and here.
You were just speaking about LeBron James, speaking about Kobe Bryant. I seen you rocking that Bronny James jersey a little bit, and it was a Bronny James jersey, right? In that Full Violence video.
Yeah, yeah, man. That was unplanned. Um, you know, I was invited on set, and I was wearing what I was wearing. You know, it happened to be a legendary jersey. You know what I'm saying? So
Happened to be a
hopefully,
legendary
hopefully
link
it
up,
fits.
man. You, Brand, and Talbot kind of all talking about the Frank Ocean link up. Well, give me your top three Frank Ocean songs right now, man. That was what I was thinking. I was like, Czar's a Frank Ocean fan. We got to hear the top three.
Let's go. We're gonna go with Nikes. We're gonna go with Pyramid, and then my third, we're gonna have to say Swim Good.
That's always a classic right there too. Swim Goods, like it's just one of those like you can throw on in the car late night, just vibe out to a track. You have someone on a passenger side seat. It's just one of those songs you can throw on, man. It's definitely Swim Goods, one of those good tracks that I gotta say that's a valid top three. But kind of speaking about that interaction, I mean, even getting to talk to Peyton about that, isn't that kind of wild though for you to not only have that kind of close interaction with Peyton? I mean, albeit through Team Alpha Male and through Urijah Faber and obviously through all the interactions you guys have had, but it must be pretty cool to be around these type of characters and to overall just see Peyton's rise and now getting to see him over there at UFC 311. What are your thoughts on just kind of everything that's been circulating these past couple weeks?
This is I knew this would happen as I started fighting, and just always stay calm, cool, and collected. But I will tell you something about Peyton. Dude like him is breaking down the barriers of what we thought MMA is or was. He's breaking down the stigma, and he's opening new doors for new fans and people we didn't think would be interested in the sport. So we have to really appreciate guys like that while he's in the sport now versus waiting until he retires and then giving him his flowers, because we see that a lot in a lot of sports. So it's very important that we give guys like him his respect now.
Oh, I love that you bring up that point because I feel like oftentimes you see fans kind of mention, like the jokes about the Peyton Talbot, but it is very right that you bring up. He is like opening up a whole new dimension of fans, and I feel like you're kind of a part of that, like opening up a new dimension of fans as well. You don't really have the most traditional quote unquote MMA background in terms of the way you carry yourself going into the cage or just overall, like Czar Charles. It's not the most MMA name, it's a pretty out there name. How do you feel kind of being a part of that second wave and coming up also into this regional scene? It's almost like you got another A1 comment. It seems like history tends to repeat itself in a way.
Yeah, when history tends to repeat itself, a guy like me, my job is to follow in the footsteps of where the greats left off. That's all I got to do.
100%. Is there any planned activities for Mr. Czar Charles? I know that you're a busy guy. You like to stay active. Is there any chance that we'll get to see you coming up soon in this 2025 year? I know you obviously got active right to kick off the year, but is there any chance we'll get to see you within these next couple of months, possibly over there A1? Like I was just mentioning, LFA has always got events going on. Anytime we'll get to see my man Czar in the cage, man.
Well, I'll tell you like I tell a lot of people, you just stay tuned, okay?
Gotta stay tuned. You and Urijah Faber and all the whole team over there cooking up something. What is that like also? I mean, he was in your corner as well. Got to kind of see that whole action breakdown. What has that been for him to kind of see I mean, like how you stated, he was like one of the first people you contacted going over to that alpha male gym and were really just, wanted to go ahead and establish that connection. How is that now for him to really just see your journey and growth continuing on through this professional MMA career? And I mean, he's truly, invested in you as a prospect.
Yeah, that's a question you got to ask him because he'll tell you he doesn't really understand me completely. When I tell him, look, coach, what you see is what you get. We have a Phil Jackson and Dennis Rodman situation going on. He knows what I need. I do it. I say, yes, coach, and I get it done. He laughs about it. We get we got our own thing going on. But I'm happy to be his student. You know what I'm saying? I'm super happy. Him, Fabio, Marcus Reeves, Joey Rodriguez. I'm gonna throw another couple names out there. Andre Fili, Clay Guida.
Andre Fili and Clay Guida, also two huge mentors over there at Team Alpha Male. Guys that have been, through the UFC kind of rankings throughout. And like, how is that to also be in the room with those guys as well? Like, you're seeing guys like Urijah, who's obviously, UFC Hall of Famer, but then you're also seeing guys that are currently still in the UFC and currently still in that gym. I mean, like how we mentioned earlier, we have Peyton going in, Team Alpha Male getting work, but you also have guys that are consistently there, and like how you said, the Filis of the world, the Clay Guidas. How is that to have that influence over there and consistently being around those guys? Because I see you are also around those guys quite often as well.
They put their arm around me when I first get in there. They tell me, look, kid, keep your head on straight, put the work in, you'll do fine. It goes over a lot of people's heads, but someone like me, it means a lot. It means a lot to have that older brother mentorship, that older brother figure, especially when you're far away from home. And these guys, without knowing you, without question, the nicest guys in the world, and they're just willing to help. And you don't see that a lot nowadays. But with those guys, you do.
Zero's working, my man. And Czar Charles, looking to go ahead and see you moving forward in the cage in 2025. Anybody else that you wanted to thank before we head off on this call here tonight?
I want to thank you, okay? I want to thank LFA for my last fight. Most importantly, I want to thank God. That's it. Thank my parents too. You know what? Let me just keep going. Let me just keep thanking people. Thank my parents, my supporters, and my family. Honestly, I wouldn't be in the position I am without my family. They help me with everything, anything I need. If I complain, I say, okay, I got something going on. They handle it right away, and they don't complain. You just don't see love like that. It's unconditional love, and I think everybody is deserving of that. So that's my message for the day too.
That's a beautiful way to end it off, my man. Love to hear it, man. Love is all you need in this world. And Czar Charles, man, way to provide a beautiful message and way to continue breaking the mold for MMA fighters out there, my brother. Michael Hernandez here, MLH Media, signing out with my guy over there in Sacramento. Originally Virginia Beach, though. Virginia, Czar Charles.